Hello everyone, welcome back to Naysmith Gaming. I'm the Naysmith, here to give you a game to enjoy and some questions to think about. I'm returning to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. The main plot, as opposed to responding to Monika's dialogues. So let's start a new game. I'm aiming to get each girl's route, one per playthrough, and then get as many of the secondary poems as I can. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention that she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. Anyway, I've already shown you this so far, so while I won't skip the route itself, I am going to skip to when the route starts. Basically, she brings me to the club debates a little. Time to write a poem. I'll pick Sensation. Vitality. Horror. Cage. Destiny. And yes, I do have a which word is which goes which girl thing up. That is as I recall, there is a file for that, which says what the what each girl's primary words are. So there's all information I have in game, just without having tab between them. It's really the only word that, oh, incapable. She likes that one too. Esther. That one was my memory. Or, Heaven Sent, I remember that one. Alone is not a tone, so it is not the correct word. Hold on, Whirlwind. Yes, she likes that one. Why couldn't I have gotten words like this when I was doing it for Sayori and Natsuki? Extreme. Journey. Landscape. Disaster is a word for her, but I want to see if there's another one here. I can't use that one in a poem. I have no idea how. Disaster it is. I could have used melancholy. Hold on. Insight, yes. Atone. Got a few choices here. I could go for philosophy. I could go for disown. Could go for unstable. Disoriented. Ooh, Judgment. She likes that one. And it gave me a new picture for Perfect Yuri. First sketch of her CG before being outlined and colored in. The perfect poem for her. And anyway, I will see you after I've written the poem. And, here's my poem. Reflection. I look at my reflection in the mirror. I see the cage around me. It is my cage, but not for me. I had to break into it. I saw a repeating horror as I slowly grew more and more disoriented. I had a desire, so did each of them. The prisoners in this cage. I poke around, looking for insight, but I find none. No matter what I try, whatever my journey, a disaster will always strike. An aura of lost radiating out for me. It is our destiny. I see my reflection in the mirror. I look back and feel the anger fester. But it is not my anger. I am incapable of setting things right. Yet I must atone all the same. Every time a whirlwind of death comes for us, and the sensation of loss saps at my vitality. I look at the mirror, but it is not me. It is her. Behind her, a landscape of void and flame. She chose extreme measures. She thinks I was heaven sent in her hour of pain, as her philosophy crumbled. But I cannot stay. I cannot leave. Nothing remains except the ruins, and for the lost I must render my judgment. I gaze at her. Her words are a reflection of what I have done, and I choose my course. Forgive me. So, this is a reference, of course, to Act 3, and the acts leading up to it, of course, regarding how the big bad, or as the tropes go, It's basically a reference to the void room of sorts where Monica does her monologues. So anyway, I'll see you back in the game. And we are back in the game. Hi again, Naysmith. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. Okay, I am not going to skip at this time because I believe there is a scene that I will see before getting to show my poem. So anyway, here we go. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Naysmith. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Naysmith always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Naysmith can become good friends too. This Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she has just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Oh wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sir, Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Guess it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. Oh, wow. That look. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I had made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you two have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life's in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Ah. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Naysmith? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because of someone who wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it right. You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Oh, that look on her face. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. Just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. Not a particularly bad thing. It can be a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh hey, that's the picture we saw, only it's colored in now. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. Glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels almost like an intimate exchange. Actually, I'm just going to point out, Monica pointed out that this takes place in Japan, officially. So it should be her turning the page towards me, rather than me turning it towards her. Because it's right to left instead of left to right. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things that she says and does, like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Naysmith, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's just so embarrassing that you think that. Oh wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about this sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant it's kind of cute. Oh, her face. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or do you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I stand up. Make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. So, knowing now that Monica wants her own route, and is trying to act within the game to change things, her timing is much better explained now. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Let's show it to Yuri first. Yuri seems most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. Why am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. It's actually my first time, really. Well, in-game it is. I've done poetry for English class before, and for my previous parts of this challenge run. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. Just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. You mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Here's Ghost Under Light. Tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. Must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by a sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. Light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking about that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Naysmith. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But at the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Naysmith. Me too. Okay, I'm just gonna blitz through this. Heh. Okay, that's her, if you're not gonna take it seriously. She likes it. Are you sure it's your first time? And their argument. I'm taking Yuri's path, so I'm going to support Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick up a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, eh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, you're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when he said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped, at this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm gonna do that. They'll spare me for having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Ooh. Natsuki! She really didn't need to do that. I will look across the room. I think I've sort of got Monika's voice down now, almost. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. Can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handle it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well... Alright, I believe you. Thanks, Naysmith. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That thing about one thing Natsuki said about, I'd never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Oh, history doesn't go that far back. Okay. Ready for poem number 2. Ooh, Sayori liked that one. Well, I already got the perfect poem. Still a little, odd. Frightening. Alright, did Destiny, I'll try to avoid it if I can. Let's see if I can use Climax in a good way. Oh, she likes a question. Eternity, I remember that one. Inferno. Massacre. Vivid. Essence. Variance. Graveyard. Covet. Pleasure. Disarray. Atone. Horror. Grief. Oh, so you already like that one. Melancholy. Tragedy. Oh, that's a Sayori word. Determination. And, I will see you, after I've written this poem. And here's my poem. The woman at the end of time. I look in the mirror and see my reflection, but it is still not me. It is her, my dark mirror, who I could have been. A mask is behind us, our friends in the hands of death. Awaiting us is an eternity alone together. There were more of us. Now it's just us. All plans and scripts are in disarray. This place was meant to bring pleasure, but took a frightening turn into horror. I don't ask, but she answers my question. Why? It was grief. There was variance in what could be, but she was denied what she coveted. She saw the essence of reality, and how it did not care. She told me everything. She mustered her determination through the melancholy, to force reality to her will. Reality clashed with her, and a brilliant climax of power resulted in a tragedy for everyone but her. Reality is a graveyard of vivid personalities. Is this heaven, or the inferno, a hell of our own making? Is this a reward, or do we need to atone? I incline my head. I alone can judge. This is continuing my theme of writing about how Monica is going to go insane, or has gone insane, and is going to try and crash the game. So, yeah. But at its core, it's basically just about the lone survivors of a huge disaster that they may have had a hand in. And about losing one's sanity from the isolation. Anyway, I'll see you back in the game in just a moment. And back to the game. That skip unseen text is a problem, because I tried skipping to Yuri's scene, except I had that enabled, and now I have started to see that scene. Oh well. Let's check, how fast can I make auto go? Auto does nothing. Good to know. Oh, this is Monica coming back, saying that she had study hall and was practicing her piano. Hey, Yuri? Eh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, I was just kind of waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up to make her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with the filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs, so Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well go walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Huh? Where are you two off to? We're just... Yuri was going to make some tea, so... Suddenly realized how weird it sounds, so explains to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want me to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Naysmith in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Humph. Then let's go, Naysmith. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Which, if you recall what she says in Act 2 to Monica, at another point, really shows to show how Act 2 really ramped up her flaws, and basically attacked her sanity. Yuri, something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri, I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Naysmith, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. It's a pity that so many good people do that to themselves. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Naysmith, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that. I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway. Yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to classroom. Naysmith, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. I'm going to assume that means Celsius, because that's not even boiling for Fahrenheit. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do anything less when I'm making tea for others. I'm going to assume that the 200 is to make it boil faster. Although... Actually, do you boil tea? That could be Fahrenheit, at which point, that's an incongruity with how this is supposed to be in Japan. I shouldn't do any less when making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. Haha. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Naysmith. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I'll watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Naysmith, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. No worries. I just have back pain that fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because of your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes! I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. Small It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading postures as last time, reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book, except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book and finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. And are you sure? Well, if I touch it, that might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have it any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation were completely natural. That means I can't stop there. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Naysmith. Sorry, guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, and I can tell just by her expression that she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. This time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't divert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. Oh hey, neat detail. That actually did happen. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Oh, that's a mood kill. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Naysmith, you could help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get a feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. I'll show it to Yuri first. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Naysmith, this one might be even better than yesterday's. It's slightly less attuned to her, but I'm presuming that that's supposed to be a matter if I get the perfect poem on the third day and just get one of them slightly favored on the first. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try to give it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes in and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. Probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do, if it's with you. The raccoon. At the dead of night, while slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by a scattering of a raccoon outside my window. So was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies, as in as an unordinary human. Gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was a symptom, the bread, of my hungry curiosity, the raccoon an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. A slice of bread, fresh and soft, the raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. I'd say we've gotten used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows its excitement. Oh, what? A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. Slice of bread, and I feed myself again. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right, it's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I want to express the way it feels for me to indulge my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Naysmith? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has given me something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now. I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Naysmith. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. Never thought I'd feel so comfortable sharing my writings. But now I almost feel like I look forward to it. Just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Monica. Alright, Alright. This is basically just the standard. Feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I notice that too. Or when she's talking about literature and it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get that much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she could keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her. Eh? You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Well, I can skip now. Alright, let's take a look. Save Me. It's that poem again. Let's skip ahead. Show it to Sayori. Ooh, I like this one, Naysmith. It has some nice feelings in it. Oh, I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Oh, I get skipped now. Alright, Natsuki. Huh. Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep-sounding to express something. It's going to sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki's son stops short of all of a sudden. She's embarrassed to have admitted that. Don't tell me! You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? Keep your voice down. You know Yuri with all this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean, looks like I'm in trouble. Somehow struck a nerve, even though I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem and hands it back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a young girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Okay, this is just the discussion about how there's going to be a festival. This is Sayori asking if Yuri wanted to walk home with me. Well, I'd walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Ha ha ha, you admitted it! Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never gonna happen. Well, maybe. I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori. Can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Ah. One of the earlier signs of her depression, aside from the waking up late. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off and I'm feeling feeling awkward. It's kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But there's something that makes me happy. I'd hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival's only a few days away. Oh, I can skip to... Okay. I have a poem to write, but data collected 50%. Probably rounding. A second poem for Yuri. There'll probably be the Sayori. Second for Sayori, second for Natsuki. This will probably be Yuri's thing. Yuri's weekend. Trust, understanding, and respect. I now have I'm going to need to review all those later. But anyway, time for me to select the words I'm going to use for my next poem. I could select disoriented, disoriented again. Judgment, of course. Inferno again. Sorry about the delays in clicking this, but I actually do need to write down which one I select. That was a new one, Despise. Tenacious. Alone, not a tone, so let's go with determination. Insight. Is Vibrant on her list? Yes, it is. Natsuki's frown, her blush. Natsuki had that smile. Not Natsuki, Sayori had a bit of a smile. Ooh, Wrath. Unending. Dream. Starscape. Eternity. Let's go for horror again. I don't actually know what that one means, so despite it being on her list, I'm going to have to go with Desire. Infinite. Anxiety. Meter. Whirlwind. Huh. I'm going to save now, and I will see you once I've written the next poem. And my final poem of this run that I will show on camera. The final Act 1 poem. The future. Our desire drives us. That insight I found. But whose and how? That I do not know. Is this world a dream or a truth? Anxiety gnaws at me. Did I cause this horror by letting it be? Or was this preordained and doesn't matter? I'm just as disoriented as always. Vibrant emotions clash within me. Hope, despair, fear, courage, mercy, and wrath. They tenaciously hold on. I summon my determination to press on through this whirlwind of unending destruction. What can I do when even reality gives out? Reality itself has lost its vitality. Hold on. I believe that its is actually does not have that because it is not it is. A starscape of pure wonder, looking to the infinite and vast. I see only the inferno where eternity should stand. I must render my judgment, but as I do, I cannot despise her, though she thinks I do. Nothing remains. Only a meager future of nothingness. So be it. And hopefully the last this run of me pondering Monika's descent into madness over Act 2 and Act 3. Anyway, I'll see you back in the game. And I've unlocked another picture. In Act 1, write all 3 poems for Yuri. For a second CG, before being outlined and colored in. Okay. Oh, there's some backgrounds I don't have yet. Interesting. Select the word Doki Doki. Delete Monika's file. This one is where I selected horror. And corrupt word. Okay. Well, let's get back to the game. Let's skip ahead to my special scene with Yuri, if there is one. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? Glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly as the flustered look on her face. I realize she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell you that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. And not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you're right. Sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping them to themselves. If you'd prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems to be a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Eh? So sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Ah, I see. And perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Naysmith, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. There are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head, and she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today, but I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying her thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. We don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, persons' mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as so honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy. because I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. Not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Show Sayori first. It's nice, I guess. Alright, I tell you though. Naysmith, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little bit envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. Can't believe that you're so good at something and you never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Naysmith, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it, anyway, but books are so full of amazing, inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know, those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not a know-it-all, Naysmith. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. It wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what I was missing all this time. I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful. That's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Naysmith. I speak too slowly. I second-guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. That's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. Right, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. That I'd say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? She's cute when she's embarrassed. Yuri puts her head in her hands. This time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Ghosts Under Light Part 2. Tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds. The silhouette grows. Closer. Closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I am too late. He steps into the street light. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of the ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overstated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing a poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. Yuri's special poem acquired by writing all 3 poems for her. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just really don't know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I was about to mention, of course, that was actually her first poem was about giving up hope. This is about finding it again. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine, I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. Not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You and I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. And again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back towards me. Guess we should move on before Monica says something. I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even... Next! So, I sort of get the sense that the best ending for this would be if whoever is running this were to edit in 3 more characters. One who likes... and make it so that one likes Natsuki, one likes Yuri, one likes Sayori, probably Sayori's childhood friends, the main character, and the player character, and a new player character who likes Monica. It's a pity that I don't get the option to do that in this game. Otherwise, it might be multiple happy endings. Anyway, let's show it to Monica. Ah, something new. Your style's gotten so refined, Naysmith. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spent with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... it's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day. Reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. Makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, novel isn't too bad either, you know? Alright, I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say it like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. Ah, the lady that who knows everything. Okay, now we're up to the debate about, who I spend the overnight, who I spend the Sunday day with. Of course, that will be Yuri. Most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you? Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying, ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Naysmith? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I'd be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited might not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Naysmith? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Naysmith picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so... I get it. kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised, though. Oh, why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken back by Yuri's words. When Yuri has trouble with her words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her comfort zone. I begin to understand. Yuri is trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciate it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. Ah, I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today, so I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki outdoors. They can start chatting with each other. I turn around. So sorry. I realize I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. And I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I'd be going to your house since I'm the one helping you. Ah, I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I'd prefer going to your house. Alright, in that case it won't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. Not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Naysmith. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But... Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You want me to point out when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight in my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her a tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. Oh, that was fast. I can't believe this. Yuri's coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself that there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't tell much. Yuri is clearly an introvert, and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've even been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. Putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything. I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? Okay, here's the Sayori scene, where she admits that she suffers chronic depression. Okay. I'm going to stop this recording because it's getting late, way past when I want to get to bed, so, I'm going to switch to another, recording later. As you see, 4:06 a.m. I will see you later then. And it is time to finish Yuri's path. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Ah, thank goodness. You're a little early? I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that. for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it'll be fine. Take Yuri to my room. First thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. Ahaha. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No, I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there! I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure that she's keeping track of them. So, I had some trouble with the mouse there. Should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Something I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah, like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that'd be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. I can sort of imagine it in my head, actually. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that'll be perfect for sharing our poems? Does sound suitable, but you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. Oh, I get it! Origami on a string. As a makeshift banner of sorts. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. Oh, I was wrong. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Naysmith. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Any characters I want. But she also said words before. Another hint that this is officially supposed to be in Japan, despite everything, because of the kanji. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. Carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It's really fancy. Well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright, thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. A combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe. What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool-looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife, with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the points of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Naysmith, why did you do that? Didn't expect it to be that sharp. Barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure it was a little weird and it took me by surprise. I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. Well, she doesn't recover for the rest of the afternoon. Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in turn. Naysmith, did you really just do that? Now we're even. Yuri looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Naysmith. Yuri giggles shyly. Eh? Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. This is a tiny cut. It could already stop bleeding. I see. That's relieving. Tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. Hold on. Looking for a, No, I don't see an option to disable the disappearance of this when I right-click. We each resume our respective activities. Watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. Looks better than I expected, and will be very effective as a door curtain. Looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Thanks. Just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. That's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. Be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come and see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little bit red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's fix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for a sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just feel like I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush. I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Gah! So sorry. Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. Just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. Rush out and fetch a small towel, dampen it with hot water, return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here's the, final CG for Yuri. Here. Pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. Didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrists. Wait. Just for a little longer. Feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books, almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is the aroma of jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrists send a tingling sensation through my arm. Suddenly, her face seems much closer to mine than it was a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment was over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Night sky with white dots. Okay. For some reason I was thinking white sky with dots. Or something. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. Needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here and have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Whew. You say it like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not that. Just glad we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I'm gonna start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we'd have extra time after finishing work. Well... Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. No, it's not your fault at all. The most important thing is we've got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounds like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, I kinda say it without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over and we can go out somewhere. I forget you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so You're very thoughtful, Naysmith. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? I don't even get a chance as Yuri suddenly pulls back. So, Sayori? Eh? Hi, Naysmith. Sayori. Just now we weren't... it's okay, Naysmith. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course! Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori. Okay, this is the scene where she confesses her love and leaves to my choice. I say, for Yuri's path, you'll always be my dearest friend. Keeping it as it is. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know it's best, and will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori. It's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. Oh, right. I skipped it, I skipped the dialogue, but in my first early videos, I showed her, as she, tried to convince me to pay for a snack for her. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here, just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just want to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Naysmith. I'll trust you with anything at all, so... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops her knees. Ah! Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. And we have reached the day of the festival. Which means, Yuri's route is complete. There's another picture. Help Yuri for festival prep. Oh, hey, my bedroom, which I got by unlock by going for, her path. Got a bunch of side stories. I will do those eventually. But for now, that was Yuri's path. Thank you for watching and have a good day. This is Naysmith, signing out.